Hello, crew. It is Thursday, the 3rd of March, and I don't know if you can see, but I am following Sarah driving the Travato, who we have named Bardd, by the way. So we're following Bardd. Just picked him up from the shop because of the oil leak, and it was in fact a bad PVC valve. And apparently the guy told me this beforehand, that it's a delicate install in the PVC valve, and if you don't get it on exactly straight, you can rip one of the gaskets a little bit, and they think that's what happened. So they replaced that, and hopefully it will not be leaking on us. So picking it up today. Sarah's driving it home because she finds it more comfortable to ride in those seats than in the seats in my Baja. What else has been going on? So I want to know when your play is. When are you performing as you like it? Because I would love to see some of it. I know I don't know if you'll be done with performances by the time I get there. I'm going to be there a week from, actually, today's Thursday. I will likely be there a week from today. So yeah, I don't know if you've already performed, if you're planning on performing in the future, or, of course you're planning on performing. Never mind. You know what I mean. When are you scheduled to play? Tell me. What else is going on? So, on Tuesday, I had to write my second article of the year about the Galaxy, and unfortunately the Galaxy got their butts kicked by Santos Laguna 4-0 in CONCACAF Champions League. So I didn't enjoy watching that game much, and I didn't enjoy having to do the write-up of it. The team looked really bad. Actually, honestly, so they were outshot like 18-11 or something like that, or it wasn't even that. It was like by 4 shots. They actually had 2 really nice shots that were tough saves that the keeper made. They went down. Santos was the better team. There's no question about it. But it really wasn't a 4-goal gap in the quality between the sides or the way that they played. It's just actually outside of the penalty box. But inside the penalty box, Santos, their goalkeeper was sharper. Actually, the LA goalkeeper was fine. Dan Kennedy did a fine job as goalkeeper. It's just their finishing was just really, really sharp. I mean, all 4 goals were in the corner, perfectly placed. I think 3 of them actually hit the side, hit the post. Were kissed off the post, and LA just they didn't get those breaks. And actually, like 2 of the goals were off of corners, plays off corners. A third one was a shot from just outside the 18, and Dan Kennedy the goalkeeper dove to try to save it, and the defender ricocheted off his head and just kind of looped over him into the far corner and kissed off the post in, and that was the second goal. And that's just that's not much. It was a lot of luck involved in that. And then the last goal was, in the second half, they're down 3-0. They've got to do something, and they had a break. Santos scored on a breakaway. So it's the kind of game where it's a close game, and then a couple lucky bounces. They made their own luck. Santos made their own luck, but a couple fortunate outcomes for Santos, and they're up 2-0. And at that point, LA's got to open up a little bit, and then they expose themselves, and that's when the score gets blown up like that. But at the same time, the LA's new central defender, whose whose name is Jelle van Damme, just had kind of a nightmare of a game. He was involved in all 4 goals, made some bad decisions. Like the third goal was off a corner kick, and he made a horrible pass out of the back right to the attacking player who was right in the middle between them. And Kennedy came out and made a one-on-one save, a really nice save to prevent the goal there, but then they scored off the corner, And those kinds of mistakes are really frustrating. In addition, you got to feel like the Galaxy attack has to be sharper. They have to be generating more chances. You've got Keane, you've got Giovanni Dos Santos, you've got Steven Gerrard, and there's just not much coming out of those guys, and it's really frustrating. And I feel like on some level, the guys who are on the bench, this is one of the first time I felt this way, the guys on the bench could have done better, and maybe should have done better, or did do better when they came in, when they came off. Mike McGee and Sebastian Lletget came off the bench and did well. And Steven Gerrard, he just isn't sharp. He's not what he used to be. He only had in these 2 games, he had a total of like 3 key passes, maybe 4, which is the same as like Sebastian Lletget had off the bench in like a total of 30 minutes or 35 minutes of game time. And granted, he's coming off the bench when everyone else is tired, and he's playing a wing, so maybe it's a little bit more of an attacking role. But Gerrard was supposed to be the key to our attack, and they've kind of built the attack around him. And it seems like he gets the ball and he just tries to chip the ball up front to Robbie Keane every time, and that's his approach. Giovanni Dos Santos is just not as dynamic. It's funny because I've always been a huge Donovan fan, but the team really misses him. They just haven't looked as dynamic without Donovan out there, and it's like Donovan had the ability. He had the speed to turn it on when he wanted to, so he could play the quick, fast counterattack game, which we haven't seen at all since he left. He also could hold up the play when it needed to be held up. He was really good about, putting his foot on the ball to slow things down. And we don't seem to have a guy who does that now. And then he moved the ball really quickly. Generally, you get 1 and 2 touch passes out of him. Giovanni Dos Santos, it's like 4 touches every time he sees the ball. And it's frustrating to try to, it feels like it slows down the attack and it kills the momentum. And, we're just not seeing the pretty flowing attacks that we used to see when it was Donovan who essentially ran the offense. And even his last year, people were like, oh, it's Robbie Keane's team and blah, blah, blah. But Donovan had 19 assists and 10 goals that year. And that's, when he was clicking was when the team looked good. So I miss him. Anyway, I'm going to quit blathering here and post this when we get home. I will, I guess I'll probably give you a call before I leave. So my plan is to leave on Tuesday evening after men's chorus. I think it's like 24 hours driving time. So I've got essentially, I think I'll drive like 3 hours and sleep, and then get up and just drive. And I could go, anywhere from 12 to 16 hours the next day, and then cruise into Winona when I feel like it. So I'm not going to push it. If I'm tired, I'm going to stop and rest. But I expect to be there sometime on Thursday afternoon, a week from today. Looking forward to it. I got to put together a set list for Duncan, I guess, for Duncan's thing. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Haven't asked you about you. I did ask about your play. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Anyway, I'll just leave it at that. Talk to you soon. Bye.